Oh, welcome to the Sunday afternoon game of the Moncton Hawks, folks. Playing the Fredericton Caps in the old York Arena. It's kind of a chilly barn here. Arsenault, just the pass stent block. Second game in a row here, we're seeing a little bit of line juggling. Trying to see what works, and still early in the season, so it's a good time to be experimenting. Oh, couple of big hits. That'll get the blood flowing. A couple of big hits from either side. Beautiful afternoon here in Fredericton. The sun's out. Just wide. Amelia keeps it in. Cormier chips it deep. Here's Boudreau with the puck. Oh, puck's up front. Svenette gets that blocked. And Caps clear. This will be a nice. So Boudreau, Svenette, and Cormier skating together today with Amelia and Richard on the point. Oh, we got a break here for Caps. Oh! Oh, save by McLaughlin. Big save early on here. A regular play-by-play guy finally decided to make an appearance, so I'll pass it over to him.
All right, folks, I'm back. A little late on the schedule. We just seen Dexter McLaughlin make a great save to hold it at 0-0. Caps sporting those new jerseys. They look pretty sharp. Caps now behind the net. They got a 2-on-1. That pops out. Agnew now. He reverses it back to Gadet up the boards. Chip, but not out. As they regroup. Now through the neutral zone, picked up by the Caps. Caps go right back the other way. That's stick checked. Shot back in. Gadet under a little pressure. He's able to fight off his defender just long enough as the Hawks come back the other way. Agnew regroups back. Arsenault now. Arsenault flicks it in and he'll go for a change. Caps back to the neutral zone. Here comes Miller. Miller trying to get a shot away. He does. That goes off the pad of McLaughlin, and the ref's going to call a penalty here for tripping.
It seems to me he got puck first on that one, but I guess gonna get a call here anyway.
I agree. You get a strong game going by both teams here, and it's almost like the refs just can't wait to call penalties. However, Hawks will go on the penalty kill. Hawks wearing the white jerseys today with the black pant shells. Cap set up, now at the point. See the minute pass to the middle of the ice here. He elected not to shoot and go to the side. Guy all alone out front here. Nobody picked him up, but puck squirts behind the net. Caps throw it back to the point. Tries to chip it, but Cornette Patterson able to poke that out. Caps regroup as they get their motors running through neutral zone here. That stick check last second. Refuse able to send it back the other way. Just a quick note, Caps playing with 5 first-year players up front. So they'll be leaning on a lot of first years to carry the weight here. Caps now moving through the neutral zone. That's off a skate. They pick it right back up. But Fernette's there. As now the Caps got to regroup again. Pass is missed, and that'll be an icing. First meeting between the Hawks and the Caps this year. We never seen them at their own jamboree, so this will be our first testing match with them. Caps able to win the draw. They flick it off ice, but unable to get control, and they'll have to regroup here as the Hawks shoot it right back in. Hawks applying good pressure, able to keep the Caps at bay here as they're unable to get a solid breakout. Caps finally get it into the zone as they try to settle things down. Now Gadet throws his body a little bit. Lots of action here in the middle of the ice. Hawks trying to get possession of that puck as it jumps around. Finally able to get that one down the ice. Penalty has expired. We're back to 5-on-5. Caps over the red line, across the blue. They leave it back for a quick shot off the post as they used the player as a screen, and Dexter didn't see anything. Now the Hawks back the other way. Quick shot taken down. That's going to draw a penalty as Casey tried to get the shot away but was hooked down in the process. So just like that, Moncton will go back on the power play. Hawks win the draw. Richard now got some traffic, and just as he shoots, everybody scurries out of the way.
Parting up the Red Sea over here.
Caps win the draw this time. Hawks first on it, however. Back up to the point. Amelia unable to contain the puck, and that goes down the ice. Hawks now over the red. Off a skate, unable to get it in deep, and that puck's knocked out of the way. Maybe trying to be a little too cute there instead of getting it deep and working the power play. Nonetheless, they'll have to start from behind their net to set things up. That puck's off the mark, and Caps able to push them back in deep. Fournette now, pass just off his stick. He enters the zone, however. Back to Millier. Millier now hammering shot off the ankle of one of the Caps players. He's feeling it. That gets knocked out. Millier's got to be careful here. He's able to put body on body and stop that. Guedette now through the zone. He's behind the net. Trying to move it up the wing off a skate. Got to keep it in with a backhand, but unable to get it in deep. And Hawks, again, back in their zone trying to set things up. Lots of stick work here by the Caps. They're letting it go as slash after slash happening. Looks like a cross-checking call is going to be called here against the Caps. I would have thought a slashing call, but again, less than 10 minutes in and we have 3 penalties in a game. It seems like this season is going to be just ridiculed with penalties. Five on 3. Third one of the year here for our Moncton Hawks. Unable to score on any of them. Hopefully they can turn the tide here. They'll have 20 seconds to do so before the first power play expires. From the point, Guedette walked in just maybe a little bit too far, and Caps player able to get a stick on him. 9 seconds to go before the first penalty is over. Hawks win the draw. Guedette down low. Arsenault works his way up and back. Down to McPherson. Arsenault. Oh, almost a giveaway as the guy was coming out of the box. Almost took it the other way. Guedette now moves it up. McPherson to Arsenault. Arsenault tries to work his way to the middle of the ice. Arsenault, quick little shake and bake, quick shot. Nice shot that was, just off the mark a little bit. Down low, Arsenault tries to work his way to the middle. Caps will have none of that and send it back down the other way. Dexter plays it up the boards. That's taken by the Caps as the Caps now getting valuable time with the puck. Well, the Hawks are on the power play. Guedette now, he goes end to end, decides to dump it in. On the chase is Robinson. Or Robichaud, my bad there. Now from the side of the net, they try to set it up front. Quick little shot, but the goalie able to get the pad down. Good scoring attempt from the Hawks there. 20 seconds to go in this last man in the box. Hawks unable to make that pass in the neutral zone. Allowing the Caps to apply the pressure. One thing we need to see a little bit better from the last couple of games, the Hawks have usually done it very well, is move the puck through the neutral zone and control it in the zones. But it seems like when they're pressured just a little bit, they tend to make a few more mistakes. We're going to have to buckle down and clean that up a little bit. Team's back to 5 on 5. We got a 0-0 game still. Both teams have had a couple good chances early on. Refuge lays the body. And right back again. Is Boudreaux with a quick goal to Fernet, and Fernet off the goalie and in! Off the goalie and in! As Fernet has a chance originally, it goes off the heel of his stick and wide, picked up by Boudreaux behind the net, and he centers it off the goalie and in. And the Hawks able to strike first. That original play started with just some physical play by Boudreaux, able to create that 2-on-0 originally. It wasn't a fierce hit, but it was a hit nonetheless, and that created the turnover. Hawks dumped that in, but they call that an icing as he didn't quite get to the red line. Richard sends it back behind the net. Boudreaux now tries to center it to Cormier. Passes off the mark and Caps go offside. Yesterday, the Flyers took on the Caps and won 5-2. Flyers also victorious today in a 5-2 win over the Rangers, who beat us yesterday 4-1. Here's a chance for a 2-on-1, but defender gets back to close that off. Caps now try to move it through the neutral zone. Puck pushed too far ahead, and Hawks able to chip it out. Fernet back the other way as he loses it right as he crosses the line. Caps now through. That's a penalty as Fernet chops at the puck and takes down the legs of the Caps number 22, and he'll go to the box for tripping. Face-off draw ended up being picked up by the Caps as it was in the neutral area for a few seconds. Moncton, St. Clair able to fire it all the way around the boards and out. Here come the Caps with a head of steam. They get it back to the point. Tried to chip it back down low, but McPherson able to get a stick on that. He was really good Friday night killing off penalties. Smallest guy on the ice, but you notice him. Caps win the draw this time. They try to enter the zone and set things up. Over to their D-man, Levesque. Levesque leaves it back on the boards. They get it down low, the Caps. Millier puts a little pressure on with some body action. Hawks able to send it back the other way. Great stick there by Robichaud. Hold the Caps at bay in their own end. Robichaud again able to get in there with his stick and get it in deep. He'll go for a change now. Caps now forced to dump in and chase. They're first on it. So they try to set things up. He's walking out towards the middle. Quick shot, scores! Caps just walk in, pick up their own puck. And he just turns the corner and walks right into the slot unattested and puts it top shelf. Power play goal for the Caps. Something the Hawks haven't been able to do the last couple of games is score on the power play, but we've seemed to have given up a couple of goals when we've been so good early. We'll be in for a season nonetheless. We had a great start at 7 or so and 0, but teams are gunning now. Here's another chance for the Caps as they move it into the slot area. Another chance out front. The puck's loose. Finally, the ref blows the whistle. Overall, getting rid of the penalties, the game has been back and forth play here. Nobody really establishing their dominance. Unfortunately, we don't see too much time go by without somebody in the box. Hawks now trying to create a 2-on-1. Defender coming back. Refuse, quick shot. Rebounds there, but covered up quickly as Robichaud tried to drive in for a rebound that was there for a split second. And that's the ABCs of the game. If you can't force the pass, just get it on net and drive the net for a rebound. That's what we like to see by our Moncton Hawks. Puck knocked out by the Caps. Hawks put it right back in, but they got to clear. Patterson puts on a little pressure. Refuse there to support him. Now Boudreau in. Agnew gets his stick involved. Caps able to chip it in, however. They pick it up. Try to center it out front. That's picked off by Boudreau. Boudreau now all alone as he tries to go around his defender. He holds it in the corner, waiting for the troops to get back as some of the Hawks went for a change. Back to the point. Quick shot from the point. Nobody in front. Goalie easily sees that and covers it up. Hawks doing a great job keeping it simple in this 5-on-5 play, getting it in deep, winning pucks, getting it back to the point. The only thing missing is getting somebody in front of that net for a rebound. Here's a shot attempt from the point. That's deflected wide. Cormier back up to the point. Robinson had to be careful there as he tried to get a quick shot away, but he was almost stick checked. Caps come back the other way, looking for a pass cross ice. That's picked off by St. Clair. Boudreau, he enters, tries to get it deep, leaves it. Cormier tried to pick it up for a quick shot, but he gets stick checked as well. Now from the side, tried to get it low. Unfortunately, can't. Caps try to come back the other way. Millier shows a little bit of physicality. Hawks able to keep it back in the zone. Cross ice pass picked off by Millier, dumped right back in. There's Casey putting on a little pressure, waiting for some support. That's picked up. There's a quick shot by Arsenault. Deflected wide. Millier down low to Arsenault. Arsenault up to Richard. Richard's got lots of room. I don't know where he was going with that. That looked like my pitching wedge shot after a couple beers on a Sunday afternoon. McPherson throwing the body. So he tries to bump some Caps off the puck. Caps coming back the other way now as they skate through the neutral zone. They're going to chip it in and change. Millier back to retrieve it. He takes a look. Sees Arsenault. Arsenault over to McPherson. McPherson Up to Casey. Casey tries to get a shot away, but that's blocked. Caps come back the other way. Stick checked by Arsenault. Caps now over the red line, dump it in. Dexter forced to play it as the Caps come barreling in. Patterson up to Refuse. Refuse trying to go wide. He's in. Quick shot. Nice save by the goal. Rebound. Picked up by the goalie as Refuse finds himself a lane as he had the speed to cut around. And
Absolutely, but you hit a guy with speed in the neutral zone. That's what happens. That's what we've been missing a little bit last couple of games here. It's good to see one get together and get a good scoring opportunity.
I agree with that. I found the D were doing a great job moving it up on the wing, and that wing would usually chip it to that streaking guy, like you said, with speed, and we've seen it there. That was a great chance by the Hawks early on here. Cadet puts it down low. Caps now with it. As they move it cross ice, that's off the mark. Picked up by another Cap player who tries to center it. Cadet picks that off. He's in the zone now. Tries to center it to Refuse, who was streaking in. Now Refuse deep in the corner, centers it out front. Goalie pokes that away, now behind the net. Lots of action. Here's a chance for the Hawks. Quick shot blocked. As Refuse again. Here's another penalty. I don't know how many penalties we've had now. 7? Maybe 6. We'll take it. But we definitely can't go more than 2 minutes without a penalty in a game of hockey here. 37 seconds to go in the period. The Hawks will have one last chance to maybe put one more on the board here. Melia now, lots of room. Quick slapper off the ankles. Tried to set up 2 quicks like the D are trying to score instead of just get that on net and let the havoc occur after. Melia, that's off the mark. He wanted to one-time that one. Cormier now trying to set things up to Melia again off the mark. There's a quick shot on net, but that goes wide. And that one's given away by the Hawks, and they send it back down the ice. Dexter out to play it up to Cormier. Cormier tries to hit for net, but time will expire, and your Hawks are up 1-0 after the first. After navigating all these penalties, the Hawks seem to find their way in the 5-on-5 game, doing a much better job. They'll be on the power play to begin the second. We'll take a quick break, and we'll see you back in the second. Welcome back, folks. We're going to start the second period where the Hawks have 1:23 on the power play. Caps able to win the draw, but it goes deep in their zone. They try to fire around the boards, but all they end up doing is giving it to our D. Lost it in his feet. Now, Fournette loses it in his feet. Double feet loss there. Hawks have to retreat, try to set things up. Great pressure by the Caps. Hold them for a half a second in deep. Cormier now tries to move it up to Millier, who jumps into the rush. Millier now cross, quick shot. Glove down, but not caught. Millier now able to block it with his foot. And attempt to get it in deep, finally. Back in. Millier now has it wrapped around to him. From the point, there's somebody in front. Two people in front. Look at the rebound, and it's smothered last second. And now the Hawks are back to the ABCs of the game. Gaudette and Agnew now on the back end. Arsenault, Casey, and McPherson up front for the last 30 seconds here. Great win there by McPherson. Agnew tries to get it in deep, but that doesn't get in deep enough. And it's set down the ice. Takes a weird bounce. Dexter had to be careful as that bounced right in front of the net. McPherson now through the neutral zone. He's got some room to skate. Drops it back for Arsenault. Arsenault, lots of space to look around. He gets it back up to Gaudette. Gaudette just puts a trickler on net. And we're back to even here as that shot's blocked by Arsenault. Chipped out, 2-on-1 happening here. Great job there by Casey to get back. McPherson down low, trying to move all the way up to Arsenault. Arsenault 1-on-1. He takes his time, though, unable to get it down the middle. Great job by McPherson to hold it in. Back to Arsenault. Arsenault, oh, big shot right in the bread basket of Brewer. Hawks back to old form. Brewer holding off those rebounds, however, covering up quickly. Caps now. They enter the zone. And here it comes. St. Clair trying to get through, and he's hassled. Another back in. Oh, but quick shot and block. They blow the whistle as the net is off, but the Hawks were all over them like white on rice. Might have been a tactic there to push the net off during that flurry of action. Refuse on the draw. He's beaten cleanly. Hawks are there to disrupt. That's centered out to the D-man St. Clair, who fires one quick. Now Robinson quick. Oh, that was a great one there as that was deflected almost up and over the glove, but Robichaud lays out his Caps player. Caps now able to get possession of that puck. They turn to fire it into the center of the ice, but it gets blocked from happening. Now St. Clair behind the net. A little chip and go action here as Cornette Patterson puts on chase. And now a big rub out by Refuse. Turns over the puck, and St. Clair moves it up all alone. Is Cedric Burnett coming in? Quick shot. That misses by not much. Refuse able to keep it in. Boudreau there. Fournette out front. Quick shot. Deflected, another chance by Fournette. And the moving and grooving action by your Moncton Hawks is creating havoc all over the place. Hawks being thrown out of the draw for not sure what reason. Burnett comes in, wins the draw. Quick shot, tipped up and over the net it goes. Caps win the draw, try to send it all the way around. Amelia comes in. Oh, geez, a little giveaway there. As Dexter wasn't sure if he was going to play out with the stick. Last second, had to put the pad down and it bounced off it. The center of the ice. Caps behind the net now trying to make something happen as the Hawks been all over them the last few minutes. Now along the boards, Hawks able to get it out. Can't get control and that's sent right back in. And Dexter decides to cover this one up, settle things down. 1-1 game. Hawks been all over them early, but for some reason, Hawks haven't been able to find their scoring ways from past. McPherson now, a little chip and go, tries to get it on the other side to be picked up by Arsenault, but Caps able to flick it in and go the other way. Caps now moving along the boards, picked up by Gaudette. Gaudette now, he's under duress, tries to chip it up. Arsenault now sends it over to McPherson, but it's picked off. Caps able to put it in deep. Agnew now reverses it for Gaudette. Gaudette's going to pick it up. He's got some room to skate now. So he's going to cross the line and dump it in. Casey going to be first on it. Trying to hold off some defenders. McPherson comes in and lays the boom. And now Robinson goes in hard. That's chipped away at the last second. Caps now back through the zone. Tries to go through the legs of Robinson, but he'll have none of that. And Dexter will cover up. Hawks unable to control the draw right off the back. Backhand quickly by the Caps is blocked. Patterson drugged down. St. Clair back to pick up the loose puck. St. Clair up to Patterson. Patterson to Robichaud. Robichaud, quick shot off the goalie's shoulder and out of play as he wasn't sure where it went. Refuse tries to go straight through. Robichaud tried to pick it up on the other end. That squirts out, but Caps pick it up in front of the net. Refuse able to knock it back in. Little centering pass. Here's another quick shot right on. Another shot. Great save by Brewer. As he's made a couple decent saves here to keep these Caps in the game as the Hawks doing their thing. Hawks pick it up behind the net. They move it up to St. Clair as he joins in on the rush. He loses it in his foot. He's got to put it in deep. Goes back to the line as Boudreau now moves it from one side to the other. Caps now have it. Caps, quick little pass. They miss the mark in the neutral zone, and that's going to be an icing. Cormier, Fournette, and Boudreau up front. Millier and Richard on the back end. Draw is won by Cormier as he tried to poke it straight through. That trickles out front, picked up by the Caps. Caps now a little chip and go as they're trying to create a 2-on-1. Almost hit their mark, but puck just behind the offensive player. Good little battle in the corner here. Now the Hawks pick it up, but little chip and go by Boudreau. Boudreau gets caught blindsided by a hit, no call, as we've seen so many penalties in the first few games. Boudreau comes straight through. He hits his mark. And now another penalty being called. I don't know what it is. Boudreau being called for the slash after the hit. The refs missed the first head contact and call the second. Let's see what they put up on the board. This is a slashing by the looks of it. Caps win the draw. They get it to the point, but elect to go back in deep, but it doesn't make it all the way. And now there's a scrimmage on the side of the boards, and the Hawks able to knock her out. At the neutral zone, Gaudette comes flying in and pokes it down. Gaudette gets involved again and again, and it's finally down the ice. Now behind the net. Caps just off the mark. Nobody there to pressure as they drop it back. Mullen's going to enter the zone. Looking for a lane. Passes it way over. Lots of room for a shot, but he elects the pass, and it goes through everyone. And now the Caps getting a little too tricky. Instead of keeping it simple, quick shot. That doesn't miss by much. 2-on-1 moving up here. When you shoot from those bad angles, they can create offensive chances for the other team, but this one's taken away quickly. And now behind the net, Hawks trying to come up with it. They get smushed into the boards. Robinson's battling them off. And finally, the Caps know it's the Hawks come up with it, and they're able to flick it in down the ice. Casey now trying to get involved. There's another chance by Boudreau to stop any breakout attempt by the Caps. Caps looking for a stretch pass. They don't like it. They try to go through here. St. Clair will have none of that. St. Clair now behind the net. That puck squirts away from him. Now the Caps looking for some options. They elect to go reverse. They walk up the boards all the way up to the far D-man. D-man's forced to chip it in deep again. And Richard able to knock that away. All the way around. Picked up by the Hawks. And they killed the power play. Penalty kill. McPherson in. First on it with this stick. Creates a turnover. There's Boudreau. Tries to center it. McPherson and Boudreau now working the corner. Boudreau tries to center it, goes through everybody. Quick shot for the point. Save. Richard's in. McPherson backs him up. Caps able to flick it down the ice, and Millier back there with it now. Millier tries to go all the way up. That goes off Patterson, skating in deep. Patterson in. He takes a hit. Now a big shot from the point, just wide. Robichaud now in the corner as he works the puck from high to low. Patterson now got to keep those hands down as he has them up around the head. Two of them in there. Millier jumps in to help. He's down low now. Patterson's covering for him. Puck behind the net. Shot all the way out to our D-man. Over to Millier. Millier, quick shot. Lots of traffic. Rebounds. Goal! Miller shoots it from the point, picked up by Patterson in front and buried. You can't make this stuff up. Shoot it from the point and get your rebound. You just can't make this stuff up. Refuse on the attack. Thought we were going to see a big hit there, but he turned last minute. Boudreaux now showing his speed as he's all over the place. Refuse back. Boudreaux coming back. Agnew holds his man at bay. Caps pick it up in the corner. Get it back to the point. Quick shot. Lots of turbulence. And that just goes wide. Now, Brett Patterson gets bumped in the corner. He's still on the puck, though. He's trying to get possession. He's hit again. Knocked deep. Boudreaux back. Tries to chip it to Gadet, who jumps in on the rush. He's going to elect to flick it in as the Hawks go for a change. Caps now. They break through. A little chip and go. A second chip and go. St. Clair picks it up on the other end this time. Good little hit there. Picked up by the Caps. They try to put it back D. 2-on-1 going up. Boudreaux gets a real quick shot. Goes to the bottom. He's not sure where it is, but he knows he can't move. A whistle comes, but he takes a quick glance behind him. Well, if you're just joining us, the Hawks are back to bang out hockey. Controlling the play, controlling the puck, and just out-skating their opponents. Their goalies made a couple of good saves. Hopefully it's just a matter of time for the next one. Caps now have a guy all out in front, but couldn't make it there. That one goes right through everybody. Nobody knew that was coming. Centering pass. Here's a chance. Up ice. Here's Cormier. Boudreaux coming in for the rebound, but he stick checked at the last second as Cormier gets it on. And F2 drives the net for the rebound, and it was close. Cormier now on the attack. Boudreaux supporting him. Boudreaux back in deep to Cormier. Cormier centers up front. And net, it just goes just wide. Boudreaux chips it down deep. Cormier up to Millier. Millier, little shot on net, rebound for Cormier, and Boer does a good job again, pouncing on the rebound. It's 2-1 game, but you would feel like it's 4-1 here. But unless the Hawks can find the back of the net here, it's going to continue to be a one-goal game. That pass is off the marker. Millier. D to D. As Richard chips it up to Arsenault, who overskates it. Now a 2-on-1. That's back checked hard by McPherson, and they come back the other way. The Hawks, Casey tries to put it on net, but that's deflected wide. Here come the Caps trying to split the D. Millier back there. He holds off his defender. Caps first on puck in the corner. Evade one out front. It's in between everybody's feet. Nobody can pull the trigger. Shot from the point off a bunch of skates. And here comes Arsenault. Breakaway saved by Brewer. That one came out of nowhere as Arsenault was just hanging out deep. He didn't have much time, but he had a decent chance. Now back to the point. Gadet tries to get it in deep. McPherson now with a little space. He tries to drop it to Gadet. Gadet's bumped, but he's still got the puck. He goes down low. Back to Gadet. Gadet walks out front. Quick on the backhand rebound. No! Almost a chance there as the Hawks again continue to apply this relentless pressure. That's flipped down the ice. The Caps want to go for a change, but the Hawks come back right the other way. Agnew dumps it in. Refuse first on it. And somebody blew the whistle for I don't know why. Must have been an offside here. It didn't look that bad from here. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Robichaud straight in. Quick shot by Fredericton. Rebound. Robichaud unable to find the puck in time. As the Caps will give them credit, doing a great job finding those. Rebound, here's a chance. Walks out in front. As Robichaud gets that puck. Nobody on him. He tried to go from back to front. Great hit there by St. Clair. Now Robinson eludes a hit. Unable to get that puck out. Quick shot. A little bit of a bounce. The puck squirting. And the puck somehow squirts away from Dexter and finds the back of the net. I thought Dexter had it from this angle, but again, I can't emphasize how important or easy it is just to get the puck to the net and anything can happen. And right there, the Caps just trickled that puck towards the goalie, and eventually it ends up in the back of the net due to a bunch of chaos. And after the Hawks been dominating so much, we find ourselves in a 2-2 game. Caps just doing enough to block a few shots, covering up rebounds quickly, just enough to hold off the Hawks from really getting away in this game, and now we're tied up. Let's see what we got in store this last 4 minutes of this period. Patterson tries to jump him on the other side. Puck squirts in. Caps pick it up. Little chip and go. The Caps now trying to go through three players. That's going to not work. And Millier over to Richard, up to Patterson. Deep off the goalie. The goalie just decides to cover it up. Millier now, after a win on the draw, he gets it down low. Cormier now turns the center to Millier. Millier, quick shot! Wow! Holy moly! That came off the stick like a lightning strike. Millier down to Cormier. Millier jumps in on the rush there. Cormier finds him, and whammy bammy, we're up 3-2. Hawks get it in deep. Cormier on the charge. Great job by Boudreau to support, but Caps able to find the puck last second. Fournette now trying to chip it out. He still has it as he enters the neutral zone. Got some steam. Moves it over to Cormier just off the mark, but Cormier's going to be first on it. Tries to chip it back. Boudreau back down to Cormier. It goes to the other side of the net. Fournette on it. Caps come back the other way. Now off the boards as the puck was off the mark. Agnew in his zone. He's going to go behind the net. Move it over to Gadet. Gadet up to Fournette, who chips it to Cormier. Cormier's got Boudreau. He didn't see him, but he had Boudreau on the breakaway if he could have just chipped it up quickly, but he was angled away from him and couldn't see it. Cormier now regroups. Up to Gadet. Gadet to Cormier. Quick shot. Score! A little give and go action again. As Cormier goes back for Gadet, and Gadet joins the rush. And after Cormier found Gadet up high, he drives the net and Gadet finds him right back for a quick shot and another goal. We got a 4-2 hockey game. The ref's ready to drop the puck. He's down low in a squat here. Before everybody was even lined up. McPherson with a little chip. Casey applying the pressure. Wrapped all the way around. Robinson's going to be first on it to keep it in. Casey gets it off the knee. Great job there by Arsenault to apply a little pressure. Now Robinson. So here's another penalty being called. I don't know what's being called here. I think this is the longest we've ever gone without a call. And the Caps are going to go away for slashing. And the Hawks are going to go on the power play.
I don't want to start declining these penalties.
Well, you know, as much as I like to see a good power play, I want to see less of them in the games in general. But I also want to see the Hawks eventually score on one. So let's see what we can do here from the point. Oh, Sinclair takes a bobble. It'll chip in, but he puts it right to the Caps player who dumps it down the ice. Caps, 2-on-1. Down low. And here comes St. Clair moving it up to McPherson. McPherson enters the line. Little chip in deep. He gets it over back to McPherson. McPherson to Arsenault. He was looking for a quick unload, but he was off kilter. Oh, Millier comes in from the point as Arsenault tried to find him from across the ice. And that just skips off a stick. Casey in the corner now. He's going to need some help. McPherson's right there. He picks out the puck. Quick to Arsenault. Arsenault again wanted to shoot that quick. Goes cross ice to Millier. Millier now looking over to the slot area, but that skips off Casey's stick. Richard now, the back line, moves it over to Arsenault. Arsenault, quick shot, rebound. And that puck is knocked down the ice by the Caps. Hawks go for a change. Millier had to be careful there. He tried to jump and go. Refuse. Had a lane to shoot, but he elected to set things up. Millier, a little giveaway, but he gets it right back. And now it's taken from him again. A 2-on-1 board up. Millier's got to get back. Great! Oh, they missed the net as they tried to deke to the blocker side of Dexter. And now I don't know what's being called here. The ref blows down the whistle. The goalie covers the puck on the goal line, and two Hawks never even crossed the blue line yet. We'll take it. 10 seconds to go here in the power play. We'll take a offensive zone face-off anytime. Let's see if that will cost him later on. Agnew now from the point. Trickle that one in, buddy. He does, but too high off the shoulder. A little bit lower, and the Plinko game would have started. Abel Agnew scored a beauty goal last game against the Rangers, the only goal of the game. He split 2 D-man himself. Put it over the glove of the goaltender. Back to even. And that'll do it, though, for the period. And our Moncton Hawks are up 4-2 after relentless attack. The story of the game is get that puck to the front of the net, and anything can happen. We'll take another break, and we'll see you for the third. Welcome back for the third period, folks. There are Moncton Hawks up 4-2. Looking back to old form. Millier tries to knock it in deep. Caps forced to go behind the net with it. Up along the boards, but gets sent back the other way. Now a shot from the point by Millier, as it was more of a dump. Richard tries to keep it in. Burnett now, sorry. Backs up Richard for a shot from the point that goes wide. Here's a shot right on by Millier from the point. Caps now along the boards. Try to chip it out. Takes a weird bounce, but they cross center ice now and able to chip it in. Hawk zone. Burnett along the boards, chips it up to Cormier. Cormier tries to center it all the way over to Boudreau, but that gets picked off. Millier closes down the lane to the Caps player there. They're forced to retreat. And here comes Burnett. Burnett trying to get it through the skates. Back the other way come the Caps. Caps over the line, drop it back to Young, but that skips through his skates, and little McPherson coming back the other way, tries to go around. Mullins gives him a shot. Gaudette knocks it in deep. Hawks got to clear the zone, but they're right back on the attack. As McPherson throws the boom. Gaudette back the other way, jumps right up front, quick shot, score! Well, that was interesting. Instead of sending it in deep around the boards, it's dumped in deep off the boards, takes a bounce right out in the slot. And Casey, who was zooming in, picks up the puck in the slot and makes no mistake as he puts it to the back of the net. D-to-D pass through St. Clair's feet. He's got to be quick, and he chips it out. Now it's right back to him as he moves it up ice to Casey. Casey chips it in. He's rubbed out. Caps behind the net. Try to chip it out. Picked up by McPherson. Quick shot. Casey now. He's in deep. He's going to drop it low to McPherson. McPherson now up to St. Clair, but that squeaks all the way out. St. Clair gets beat. Here's Steves. And Robinson comes over to save his hide. As he's in a battle in the corner now. He's going to need some help as two Caps are there. McPherson's there for support. Finally, up and out into the Cap zone. Caps now try for a little quick neutral zone pass, and that goes back the other way as Patterson, ring-out line, quick shot, rebound, right on the goalie as Casey almost put in another one. Caps cross the red line, chip it in. Millier picks it up before it gets to the goal line, moves it up ice, but that's off the stick of Robichaud. Here's another penalty being called as we only got 3 minutes into this one. I don't know what the call's for. He's pointing to his head. This is Millier. Looks like he's going to the box for head contact. So last game at our home opener, we've seen head contacts every single time being called 4 minutes. This one's only going to be 2. So we're still trying to figure things out here in the U15 AAA League. It's a roll of the dice right now. We'll take the 2 minutes as Refuse able to get it in deep. He's on the attack now. Creates a stir, and Agnew able to dump it right back in. Robichaud now. He's in trying to disrupt things. Here come the Caps as they go east to west, back to east. And they can't get through 3 defenders. Let's get it, able to send it back the length of the way. Caps with a head of steam over the red line. That looks like it'd be an icing. They call it off. That was at least 4 feet in front of the red line. They call it off this time. They missed an icing, but they don't miss a penalty. Get it. Unable to get it down. Here's a quick shot. That's off the mark by at least 3 feet. Caps trying to apply some pressure now. Get it down, but he's right back up. He's in a scurry of things, and that's picked up and sent down the ice for a breakaway by Corming if he can just get another step, but he can't this time, but he throws a little backhand that just goes wide. This one's offside, and Cormier has a little talk with his man, and it's a lot easier to do the talking when you're up by 3, I'll tell you that. Because Friday night, the talking just meant nothing. Draw one by the Caps. Nice little pass up as they cross the line. They try to dipsy doodle around the D-man, and we know how that TikTok crap goes. A puck goes down the ice. Caps regroup. Going back the other way. We're back to 5-on-5. Caps try to move from the boards. Here's Arsenault streaking down the side. Gonna get in front. There's a rebound, but it's deflected too far. The net's off. The ref decides to fix the net this time and not blow down the whistle. And there's another penalty coming up, and Arsenault's got the puck, so he shoots it on. Rebound. And holy moly, I guarantee that they're getting paid commission on every minute they call for the penalties. It's the only reason. Well, Tony, I don't know about you, but I would say if there's one thing going on in this game that I'd like to see the Hawks do better is get going on their power play. Even though they're up 5-2, we'd like to see this thing come to fruition.
Yeah, we sure are getting our reps in.
Here's a pass over to Casey as he enters the zone. Vermillion, a quick shot. We've seen that a few times where the defensemen move it up to the winger, and the winger has the streaking defenseman as an option who fires that puck quickly, and we almost seen another one there again. That one's chipped out by the Caps. One-on-one battle brewing here as Agnew's trying to hold off his defender. He's being whacked like a weed whacker. Big hit there on Cormier. He's knocked off the puck momentarily, but knocked in deep. Cadet's got to be careful here as he sends it back. And that's picked up by Cormier. Cormier now. He's rubbed off the puck. Here comes Fournette. Fournette enters the zone. Tries to go wide. He's knocked off. Puck's caught in between the skates. Cormier picks it up. Gets it back to Cadet. Lots of action in front of the net. Rebound, but that goes well wide. Picked up by Cormier. Cormier in deep. Off the boards and scoots the other way. But Agnew pinching. Able to keep it in, but that squirts off the stick of Boudreau. That's sent the length of the ice. As Dexter decides to
Go to the backhand.
go to the backhand. We thought he was going to go forehand, which wouldn't have been a good choice, but Gaudette now jumping in on the rush as he squirts it out front. The goalie pushes the net off.
Not the first time. That has to be, what, 3 or 4 times? For the net coming off and high danger chances.
We've definitely seen it before. 6 seconds to go here in this Hawks 17th power play.
And it's both ends of the ice for the Cap side there, so I'd like to see a warning at some point, but doesn't seem to be happening.
Hawks win the draw. They try to go straight through. They're still mucking their way. It's in the middle of the ice now. They turn. And Cornette fires a rebound. Rebound again. Scores! Holy moly! You can start calling me Don Cherry. Get the puck to the middle of the net and let the Plinko effect happen, and that's just what happened again. There's an old song, Pony. It goes, she ain't pretty, it just looks that way. Another song, if you're looking at the clock. We're not in the 4th period, so don't be fooled by the clock that we got. We're still in the 3rd period as Patterson now goes up the wing behind the net. Cap's going to be first on it. They try to bump it up ice, but that's knocked back in by Robinson. Refuse. Patterson trying to put on the pressure, but Caps come out the other way as Miller now. St. Clair cuts him off. Cornette Patterson back down low to Refuse. Refuse sends it over. Robinson's got to be careful as he overskates it. Now that scurries its way up to the front of the line. I don't know where it is. It's caught in a jersey. Knocked down, and the Hawks pick it up, but not out. And this time, they're able to clear the zone and get some line changes in. Caps coming through the neutral zone. Trying to play tick-tock hockey again, and the Hawks come up with it. Pass is off the mark. Caps knock it back in deep. Casey now in a battle on the wing. 3 Caps. Nobody else home, and that's off the mark. That'll be an icing. As St. Clair tried to hit Arsenault on a quick breakaway attempt, and that's just off the mark. Draw one by the Caps. They get it down low. Great hit there by Milius. McPherson now able to chip it out. Here's a chance. Can Arsenault get to it? No. Richard now as he tries to chip it in, but now he's caught. 2-on-2 brewing up. Little McPherson playing on the back end there. And there's a hit on McPherson. Nowhere near the puck, but the ref allows that to transpire. 6-2 game. I guess you'll let certain things go now. Here's a sharp angled shot off the shoulder of. Here's a penalty. Slash. I've never seen so many slashing calls in my life. Caps are going back to the box. Again. Caps unable to clear the zone on that clearing attempt. Hawks down low, looking for a centering attempt, but that's off the side of the net. Millier now tries to poke it to keep it in, and the ref calling. I don't know what he's calling. He just likes to blow his whistle.
Well, we had somebody from the crowd yell the net's off, and so it is.
Problematic.
Brewers claiming innocence on this one.
Hawks win the draw. Fournette back to Millier. Millier's got some traffic in front off the crossfire and out of play. Another draw won by the Hawks as they get it down low. Cormier looking to Fournette. Fournette back up to the D. Back down to Fournette. Back over. Tried a quick centering pass. The wingers are playing a little bit higher here. Taking away the defenseman's shot, which opens up down low for the Hawks, but let's see what they do here. Is Fournette down low now. Back up to the D. He's got some room to let that go. That gets deflected. As Cormier now down low is Gaudette's got a lane. Quick little shot. Great job to keep that low. He could have tried to fire that one for a goal, but he was looking for the golden ticket Plinko game. There's another shot. Rebound. Oh, that just goes wide. And again, the net's off. We got a problem.
We might get into the double digits for next off this game. Keep going. We're on pace.
Gonna have to reinvest in peg management here. Maybe start drilling the holes like the NHL. Well, a couple stories of the game so far, folks. Your Hawks are back. They're full force attack here all over the ice, with only one minor story, not being able to score on the power play for a few games. This being the third straight anyway. 10 seconds to go here to try to change that. That's knocked out, and we'll be back to 5-on-5. St. Clair back. He's got to be careful. He's got to play that puck, as that was almost taken away. Refuse now crosses the line. Refuse going to backhand that in deep. Tried a quick centering pass there by Robichaud, but it doesn't make it to anybody but the Caps player. Caps, D to D, trying to move it up ice here, but again, the Hawks applying enough pressure. Again, puck skips over the Caps player, and again, the net's off. This time maybe from a bump in front of the net. Well, if I was them, I'd probably take about 2 minutes there, maybe get the water bottle out and start squirting the pegs, because this is getting ridiculous. Great draw win by Owen. Owen to Richard. Nobody in front of the net, but there's a rebound, but it goes wide. And now, Arsenault working it in the corner. Back to the D. D to D pass to Millier. Quick shot, but that's well high. Another call as the ref's got his hand in the air, waving him like he just don't care. If they get $1 for every penalty minute they called and invested on Bitcoin, they wouldn't have to be reffing anymore.
These whistles are having a workout today.
I thought that was a penalty, but that was a high sticking call. So my bad on that last one. Good little bump in the corner there as every Cap player found their way in that corner. We're not spread out at all, but we're able to get it up the ice here now. That one's knocked in. They fight along the boards. McPherson able to chip it out. McPherson lays a little body enough to stop his man, picked up by the Hawks, but they overskate it. Dexter again out to chip that to Millier. Millier out the boards to Arsenault. Arsenault to Casey, but that's off the mark. Caps come back the other way. One-on-one battle here. Patrice trying to hold his man. Quick, sharp angled shot, but that goes backwards rather than forward. Cormier up to Arsenault. Arsenault up to Cormier. Cormier 1-on-2. Gonna get it in deep and hold for a second. Quick shot as he's seen Boudreau go into the net. Looking for a rebound control. Agnew gets bumped off the puck here for a second. Cadet's got to come back. He swings his stick around and he knocks the net off as he goes down, trying to.
And Cadet's for a delay of game for bumping the net off? No. Amelia laid a big hit here in the middle of the ice. The guy looked like somebody on one ski coming down the hill right into the boards.
Yeah. Aspen Extreme or whatever that movie was called.
Sport Goofy, I think.
Sport Goofy. May have set a record for how many times the net's been knocked off in a game, both ends of the ice here. Fast break here. Can he get back? Mullins does, as two Hawks players could have had another 2-on-0. Here's another quick up as Boudreau, quick go, just wide. He's got fast feet, that guy. Gadet now tries to get it in deep. That squirts past him. And now we got an odd man rush, and that's up and over the net and out. Caps at the red line. A little back and forth play here. Cormier now comes up with it. Cormier looking on the backhand. All right, to chip it on the goalie and look for Boudreau to come in and clean up. Agnew now turn and go. He gets it up to Boudreau. Boudreau tries to get it up to Cormier. Cormier's got to skate for it. It's just off his reach. But Cormier's back there trying to create a little havoc of his own. Fournette now trying to disrupt. Robichaud working it. He's just slid off the puck, but Cadet able to knock it back in deep. Off a couple Caps players. Caps players move it up. There's a chance for Sinclair to lay the boom. He decides not to finish the check, but he picks up the puck. And that one's knocked off the stick. Puck taking a couple back and forth jumps here. Robichaud able to get a stick on that as he was skating hard trying to disrupt that. He does there again. Back the other way goes Robichaud, knocks it in. Robichaud and Alea. St. Clair knocks it in, and Robichaud will go for a change. Fournette Patterson, Refuse. Refuse just knocked off the puck. That didn't look like a big hit, but it caught him a little weird, and Refuse doesn't like it. He's holding his arm. As sometimes the small little bumps, you could see it happen in real time, and it looked like it definitely twisted him up. Great job there by Robinson to hold up his guy. And now Robinson throws another boom. McPherson loses his stick. He's got to come all the way back to the line and pick it up. He gets right back down there. He's our centerman helping out down low. Robinson now a little chip out of the zone. Arsenault tries to pick it up. McPherson going to get it in deep. Takes a hit. But he's got it in deep, and now Casey's there. And here's a shot from the point by Millier, deflected. Picked up by Casey. Casey back to Millier. Millier now from the point, overshoots. One-on-one battle, but Millier, he's fast. He's back, and he throws the boom, but he takes the biggest hit of both of them there. Hawks now. Arsenault throws it out front. Got to be careful there. Casey all alone, throws it on net, and the goalie just pounces on that instead of stopping it with his stick first. That scares me, but when you got time, you want to get that paddle on the ground just in case. Caps come out with control, cross the red line, try to dump it in, and Dexter forced to cover up. As we get down to the final few minutes of the game, it's been all Hawks. Other than the first period, that was just a trade-off of penalties. You didn't know what you were going to get. Once this game settled down, Hawks took full control. Gadet now back behind the net. He works it up the boards for net. Turns and chips, but not out. Centering attempt by the Caps, but he's forced to knock it in deep. Hawks come through the neutral zone. Nice pass as they work it down low now. Trying to get it out front. That's just off the skate. Looking for the one-timer was Fournette. Caps trying to get that puck out eventually. St. Clair up to Fournette. Caps are on a change. Fournette's got some room. Glove down by the goalie. But Fournette's knocked into the boards, and we know he's battling a shoulder injury. We hope he's okay because we don't want to see him get worse. He's finally just back on the ice. Not looking good here on the early on as Fournette goes into the boards hard. He looked like he wanted to stay on there for a second, so that's good news, but I'd like to see him off. There's no reason to be on, just in case now. Robinson tries to knock it down low. Refuse. Little centering attempt. That was close. St. Clair puts it down low. Nothing being forced here. That's out front. Swing and a miss. And St. Clair got to be careful here as he went for a late hit. You know what the refs like to do. We're due for a penalty as we haven't had one in a while. So I can tell you, if there's a chance to call one, even though there's 50 seconds left, it's coming. Here's a chance as the Caps tried to move from the goal line out. Shot from the point, blocked down by St. Clair. St. Clair tried to get in front of that other one, but Dexter gets the best of this one. Goalie gets poked. And Robinson clears the way. St. Clair's over there too. 32 seconds to go here. Dexter hasn't been too busy in this third. Good sign for the Hawks, although I'm sure he would have liked a couple more shots. Here come the Hawks. One last go. Arsenault trying to go wide. He was looking for that centering pass. Now he's going to try to pick it up. That goes by him, and here come the Caps for the last chance of the game. Chipped up and over. Little dipsy doodle, but he can't finish. Dexter able to get the pad down. And that's knocked out, and that'll do it. Here in Freddie, your Hawks show a little life and come back after that loss yesterday with a big convincing 6-2 win. Still with a few power play woes, but the intensity is back. Give it up for your Hawks. As they try to put another new winning streak together. Well, from Freddie, we thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time.